Once upon a time, in the enchanted forest of Athel Loren, said a forest dragon to his lunch, "It's time for me to eat you, I'm afraid." "Wouldn't you rather eat an elf?" said the goblin. "Eat an elf? Why, the very idea. Elves are wise and valiant creatures," said the dragon. "I'm sure they taste good nonetheless," said the goblin. "Like us, they live in harmony with the forest. It would be a crime to eat one," said the dragon. "We hate elves," said the goblin. "Why, some of their kind are very noble indeed. I had the honor of knowing a great hero of theirs. Now he would have impressed even you. A winged lord he was," said the dragon. "An outstanding creature whose soul brimmed full with joy. Proud he was, but with good cause, fearless and daring too," said the dragon, remembering fondly. "He rode to war on a giant warhawk named Stormwing." "So what was this Ponzi elf hero's name then?" asked the goblin. "Lord Telomere, of the Findolin kindred," said the dragon. "His warhawk riders would have followed him to the ends of the earth, and very nearly did. He was much too free, too wild at heart to wed, though many an elf maiden had sought his hand in love. It was said he was married to the sky and the wind and to the mountain tops." "So where's this Telomere character now then?" asked the goblin, who was not in the least bit interested, and only asking so as to delay the serving of lunch. "He is dead. Deader than a Tomb King's army," said the dragon sadly. "How did he die?" asked the goblin. "Now therein lies a tale," said the dragon. "After many glorious and daring deeds and courageous feats of arms, he fell in battle during the secret war." "Never heard of it," said the goblin. "Exactly," said the dragon. "The secret war was a war fought long ago between the woodelves and the beastmen." "We hate beastmen," said the goblin. "Lord Talomere's death was a most gallant one, and I should know, for I was there." "You were there?" remarked the goblin, pretending to be both interested and impressed. "Yes, I was there and remember it as if it was yesterday." "Shall I tell you the story of how that great elf died?" "I'm all ears," said the goblin. "Yes, you are, aren't you?" agreed the dragon. "Now where to start?" "Nothing ever begins evil," said the dragon. "Even you goblins must have been corrupted by something to be the way you are." "Thanks very much," said the goblin. "When the old world was new, there was no evil in it, for it was made by hands that knew evil not. Evil, or chaos, came into the world from somewhere else, from beyond the beyond. That event, known as the time of chaos, changed history in a single terrible day. For the very stuff of chaos flowed from another dimension into this one. Now this stuff of chaos corrupted and sickened all that came into contact with it, turning that which was good into evil, light into dark, and brought what we call magic into the world. It was at this moment that the race of beastmen began to walk the earth. Though whether they were beasts who became men, or men who became beasts, none can say. "We hate beastmen," said the goblin. "Yes, you already said that," said the dragon. Eventually, most of the chaos matter spilled into the world coalesced around the planet's poles, creating what the humans call the chaos wastes. And the old world slowly returned to something like normality, though everything in it had forever been changed and tainted, some things more than others. But not all the alien chaotic matter brought into the world ended up at the poles. Such had been the force of the dimensional rift that chunks of raw chaos had been thrown into orbit above the globe. Millennia passed. And then one of these chunks of chaos, concentrated chaotic essence if you will, evil solidified, madness made material, fell from the sky. Now, as you know, there are many strange and foul abominations in the world, brought into being by the effects of chaos, unspeakable horrors in the dark places of the world. Gorgons? Worse. Jabberslights? Worse. Mother-in-laws? Worse even than them. Things that slither about the world at night so evil and corrupt they have no name even in the dark tongue. One such hellspawn abomination, born no doubt in the chaos wastes, came across this chunk of chaos from the heavens and ingested it. Deep within the twisted and sick trees of the wild wood stood the ruins of dandd, a long-abandoned temple to the dark god. Now, by ill fortune or evil design, for the beastmen practice a debased form of magic, Bray shamans had erected one of their accursed birdstones, decorated with invisible runes of chaos, on the top of dandd. Who can say how long that piece of chaos festered inside that unholy creature, changing it and corrupting it still further? Until one dark night, as it passed through the wild wood, the creature vomited up, or in some other way, deposited it at that very altar of evil, at the foot of the herdstone. The herdstone and the temple acted as magical lenses, magnifying and intensifying the power of the piece of chaos. And enormous quantities of dark magic were released, saturating the land around. Beastmen in the wild wood, with their keen animal senses, smelt this magic in their nostrils and came. And now it is that Karak enters our story, for he was the first of the beastmen to climb dandd. Karak was just a minor wargore at the time, little more than a bestigore in fact. But exposed to the conjunction of dark magics at work at dandd, Karak became transformed and more powerful with every passing day. Karak challenged the neighboring wargores. Wargor after Wargor fell to Karak's Chaos Rune Axe, which did D3 wounds rather than 1 for each hit. And his followers grew. Sensing that something terrible had been created in the east, Orion and Ariel, king and queen of the forest of Athel Loren, had Lady Amra, a highborn elf of the house of Fey Darek and member of the council, brought before them. The king and queen of the forest appointed Amra war marshal of the Green Wood, champion of the Mage Queen, and guardian of the king's glade, and gave her sweeping powers. Her orders were simple: investigate the dark goings-on at Dal Nor and eradicate the threat it posed. Amra, a most resourceful and determined elf, duly gathered intelligence. And slowly but surely a plan took shape in the war marshal's mind. All the while Karak went on defeating rival Wargors. Growing in power and reputation. And Gors and Beastigors, almost without number, flocked to Dal Nor. Karak became a full-blown beast lord. And the challenges continued. ever victorious Karak's war horde grew and grew. Karak sent raiding parties far and wide. The Bretonnians did little but pray to their Lady of the Lake. We hate the Bretonnians, said the goblin. Towns and cities of the Empire burned. But the brave men of the Empire hid in their towers. We hate the men of the Empire, said the goblin. What a surprise, said the dragon. Karak's beastmen even dared to enter Athel Loren. These beastmen did not live long. But more would come.